Jenna mopes around the house crying her eyes out. How can life be so cruel? When there is a knock at the door and a voice says, "Hello? Anyone home? I have a package here, for a Miss Jenna Ortega. At this address." Sniffling and wiping at her tear-stained cheeks, Jenna hesitantly approached the front door. She took a shaky breath, trying to compose herself before opening it a crack. Through blurry eyes, she saw a delivery man standing there, holding a medium-sized package. "Yes, that's me," she managed to say, her voice hoarse from crying. Jenna accepted the parcel with numb fingers, hardly registering the weight of it. She mumbled a distracted thank you before closing the door again, leaning against it heavily. The package was addressed to her, but there was no return label. With trembling hands, Jenna tore it open, revealing a beautiful leather-bound journal. Nestled inside was a folded note with her name written on it in familiar handwriting. Heart pounding, she unfolded the paper to find inside a script from the director of the movie she was to act in. She looked at the delivery guy/courier, and it's him. Oh honey. She hugs and kisses him, but he says, "Excuse me, ma'am. We don't know each other. We've never met, I am just the delivery boy, please stop." She asks him his name, he says Gordon. She then apologizes and signs for the package. He says, "You've been crying, miss. You okay?" She nods. Then he looks at her and asks, "Are you sure?" She nods yes, then watches as he walks away. Jenna shuts the door and bursts into tears again. Jenna stared after the retreating figure of the delivery boy, Gordon, in shock. Of course he wasn't Honey. What had she been thinking, throwing herself at a stranger like that? Mortification burned hot on her cheeks even as fresh tears spilled down them. She closed the door and slid down it to sit on the floor, hugging her knees to her chest. The package lay forgotten beside her as Jenna gave in to another bout of gut-wrenching sobs. Everything hurt, her heart, her head, even her bones felt heavy with grief. After several long minutes, Jenna finally exhausted herself out of tears. She wiped her nose on her sleeve and reached for the journal with shaking hands. If this was some kind of sick joke, she needed to know. With bated breath, she opened it to the first page. But she can't help thinking that the delivery guy looked, talked, and even walked like Honey, but he was a completely different guy. Eventually she had to go be on set. So she tries to compose herself even though her emotions have hit her really hard.
Why, oh 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 why, why, oh 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 why, oh.
brow furrowed in confusion as she tried to make sense of her situation. The vivid memories of the previous night felt so tangible, so real. The pulsing music, the sweat-slicked skin, Honey's strong arms holding her close, his whispered words of devotion. Surely it couldn't have all been a dream conjured up by an overworked, lonely mind? She swung her legs over the side of the bed, head pounding slightly from the remnants of alcohol. Jenna jumps up out of bed, with a sheet wrapped around her, then quickly gets dressed, puts on her shoes and runs outside into the rain. She shouts, "Oh! Oh, honey, where are you?" But no one answers her. She looks around inside. But it hits her that there's no one there. She realizes she's all alone. She then breaks out in tears, saying, "No, no, it had to be real." As it felt so real. No, no, no. As she falls to her knees, she cries out, "No. Please God, please." She sobs uncontrollably. "No, God, please." Jenna stumbled back inside, tissues clutched tightly in her trembling fist. Tears streamed down her face as the cruel reality sank in, despite how real it had felt. The magical night with Honey had indeed been nothing more than a vivid dream. A cruel, beautiful illusion born of loneliness and longing. She collapsed onto the bed, burying her face in her hands as anguished sobs racked her body. How could something so perfect, so right, be nothing more than a figment of her imagination? The ache in her chest was physical, a sharp pain that stole her breath away. No. 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 Jenna whimpered between hiccuping cries, her voice muffled by her palms. It can't be. It felt so real, so good.
A guy walks up to Jenna, a movie-set security guard. She can't see him as her tears are welling up, causing her not to see well. So she wipes them dry, making an excuse about having allergies, being allergic to the dust. He looks at her strangely. He introduces himself as O. Jenna becomes shock-surprised. She asks him his name again. He says O. She's even more surprised as she says O. It's O! Jenna blinks rapidly, trying to clear the tears from her vision. When recognition dawned, her jaw dropped open in shock. Oh! What are you doing here? I'm security, ma'am. She quickly dabbed at her eyes with the back of her hand, hoping he wouldn't notice how red and puffy they still were. Jenna's heart raced as she processed this unexpected encounter. A million questions swirling in her mind. Are you really just a security guard here? Or is this some kind of crazy coincidence? Her voice quavers slightly, betraying her agitation. Please, if you know anything about what happened last night, you need to tell me. I'm going out of my mind here. Jenna stepped closer to O, searching his face intently for any hint of deception or recognition. He says, I really don't know what you're talking about, miss. I just started here about 2 hours ago. See, I just moved here from Atlanta. Before that, New Zealand like 8 months ago. I got a phone call this morning as your appointed security. You okay, ma'am? As you look like you've been crying a lot. Jenna shakes her head in disbelief, taking a step back. This can't be happening. First the dream. Now this bizarre coincidence with a complete stranger who looks uncannily like Honey? No, I'm not okay. None of this makes any sense. She laughs humorlessly, running a hand through her tousled hair. You can't possibly understand. Suddenly, a terrible thought occurred to her. What if this was all some elaborate prank or stalker situation? Jenna wraps her arms around herself protectively, eyeing O warily. Listen, I don't know what game you're playing at, but I want you to stay away from me. Don't come near me again, do you understand? Her voice trembled with a mix of fear and desperation. Just leave me alone. Hey. Sorry, ma'am, if for some reason I've upset you. I have no idea how, but as I said, and you can check with my boss, I've only come here today as was suddenly appointed for the job. As the other guy got sick as, Jenna took a deep, shuddering breath, trying to calm her racing thoughts. Maybe she was overreacting. This poor guy seemed genuinely confused by her outburst. Still, the resemblance to Honey was too striking to ignore. Okay, I believe you. About starting today, I mean. She bit her lip, studying O's face intently. It's just, you look so much like someone I know. Someone I cared about very much. A single tear escaped, rolling down her cheek. Last night, I had this incredibly realistic dream about him. A single tear escapes, rolling down her cheek. Last night, I had this incredibly realistic dream about him. We spent this perfect, intimate evening together. But when I woke up, there was no trace of it being real. No messages, no signs he ever existed outside my subconscious. Jenna let out a choked laugh. Oh, so that's the reason you've been crying then? A dream, eh? Yeah, she replied in response to O. That seemed so real. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, as I had one of those last night. It seemed so damn real, you know. Jenna's eyes widened in surprise at O's words. Could it be possible that he too had experienced something similar? Wait, you had a dream like that too? One that felt completely real? She took a tentative step closer, hope and trepidation warring in her expression. Tell me more. Please. What was yours about? Did you dream about someone specific? Jenna's heart pounded in her chest as she awaited his response. Part of her feared that learning the details would shatter the fragile illusion that maybe, just maybe, her experience hadn't been entirely a figment of her imagination. And yet, another part desperately clung to the possibility that she wasn't alone in this strange occurrence. Yeah, that I'd meet the woman of my dreams during a night out. Take her home, make love to her. But woke up this morning, she was nowhere to be seen. So I just put it down to a wild dream I'd had during the night. Jenna listened intently, her heart sinking with each word. The similarities between their respective dreams were uncanny. The chance encounter, the passionate night together, the cruel awakening to find it all vanished like smoke. It was almost too much to bear. She sank down onto a nearby crate, suddenly feeling weak in the knees. Oh God, it's exactly the same. The details, the feelings, it was all so vivid. How is that even possible? Jenna looked up at O, her eyes wide and pleading. Do you think? Could it have been real somehow? Some kind of shared dream or astral projection or something. The desperate hope in her voice was palpable. He replied, buffed if I know, I am a Maori. How should I know? Smiley face. He laughs hard, despite the heaviness of the situation. Jenna found herself laughing softly at O's self-deprecating joke. His easygoing nature was oddly comforting in the midst of such confusion and emotional turmoil. Well, if anyone would know about the mysteries of the universe, I think it would be a Maori man. Aren't you people supposed to have all kinds of ancient wisdom and spiritual insights? She teased gently, a small smile tugging at her lips for the first time that day. Jenna stood up slowly, brushing off her pants. Seriously though, this whole thing is so weird. The odds of us both dreaming the exact same type of dream defies logic.
He replied, damned if I know. I'm a Maori. How should I know? Smiley face. He laughs hard. Despite the heaviness of the situation, Jenna found herself laughing softly at O's self-deprecating joke. His easygoing nature was oddly comforting. In the midst of such confusion and emotional turmoil. Well, if anyone would know about the mysteries of the universe, I'd think it would be a Maori man. Aren't you people supposed to have all kinds of ancient wisdom and spiritual insights? She teased gently, a small smile tugging at her lips for the first time that day. Jenna stood up slowly, brushing off her pants. Seriously though, this whole thing is so weird. The odds of us both dreaming the exact same scenario, it defies logic. She sighed heavily, running a hand through her hair. I guess we'll never know for sure what really happened. O reluctantly says, realizing, well, better get back on the job, as earlier a nutty fan got in here. Unannounced and was trying to cop a feel of the famous actress here. So had to throw him out nicely. By his collar and belt of his pants, head first out the door. See you later, miss, and take it easy, eh. He winked.